And we are back. League of Gentlemen, week 9? Going on to week 9. It has been a hiatus. We have not been here since the draft lottery. As always, I apologize to everybody. There was some contract stipulations. COVID response to our studio has been a very tough and tight scheduling. So luckily we were able to bring you week 9 on Thursday. So we are here again. Thank you to everyone in the League of Gentlemen. As always, we do have people that still have not paid their league dues, so that is no surprise. As always, thank you, Dan, for the frame, the ELE frame, and then Will bringing in the couch. So that's 2 managers going above and beyond for the commish to make sure that the content is met. Everyone else, of course, never does anything for the league. So thank you again. Just to be out there, Pat owes 200, Conti owes 100. Thank you, Conti, for paying half. Kyle paid his 200, so we are basically almost there. Again, week 9, so week 1 through 8. This is a very different type of atmosphere. I haven't done a video, so I have no follow-up. As always, Tusabes. Take a look, Tusabes. Shout out to Tusabes. He's been battle rapping a lot of people out there and destroying them, educating people about the current state and affairs of our country. I'm not going to go into any politics because I don't want to lose any friends today. So week 1 through 8 recap. It's been a very strange year due to the COVID. Couple games have been postponed, changed, people on COVID lists, more injuries that I can see compared to when there was a preseason. A lot of different ways teams are going about their injury reports and things like that. So it's been very interesting. So we got 3 teams that are 6-2 or better. So we got Will at 6-2, and then we got Pat and Dan at 7-1. They win this week, Dan and Pat. They will clinch playoffs berths already. So I'm pretty sure that is true. Then we got 4 teams at 4-4, so we got a middle of the pack race for the last 5 and 6 spots. I think it's going to be a really tight one at the end, just like the election that we're still in the middle of. And then we got 3 teams at 2 and 6. So as always, the same competitors, not BJ, but Greg and Barry somehow find a way to be the worst team in the league. Barry this year, tough break with Saquon Barkley, but the rest of his team was really suspect. So I don't think even having Barkley would have changed much. His team would have still been a little bit of on the suspect side, probably have another win, possibly 2, but I highly doubt it. GB making trades, picking people up. Of course, he drafts everyone that used to be good. OBJ, Le'Veon Bell, Joe Mixon. He's better this year than last year, but obviously still drafting just like a complete moron. Looking like he might have the worst team in the league, and I think everyone agrees that is looking likely. I play him next week, by the way, $1,000 bet, still up for grabs, 2 games up against GB, so that's really going to be an easy one. Next week, of course, if someone would like to come and be a guest member, we will have masks so we can make sure guests can be available. The next step here is just to talk about week 9. I know you guys wanted content, but I don't think there's going to be too much to talk about here because just the league in general, I don't feel as excited because I am 4-4. My team is on the decline, but we'll talk about that more later. At week 9, we have we're going to talk about the matchups, who I think is going to win. This week, another great week for the league. Very top-heavy schedule versus the bottom half schedule. So we have a lot of the top teams versus the bottom teams. So this week is really crucial for the middle of the pack teams to get a W, so we can really erase anyone at the bottom of the pack, 2 and 6. They all lose this week, and the middle of the pack ends up with a couple W's. That's 3 games up. So you're looking at almost 4 games to get back into the playoffs. So we can basically almost attest that 3 teams will be completely out of the playoffs if they lose this week. So we got Villar, Magoulas, and RG three-way. This is a huge game. Playoff implications are in play here. The 5 and the 6 team going at it, 4-4. This is a big game. Like I said, one of them wins, goes 5-4. They're literally pushing themselves into a spot where, you know, the bottom half of the league is not going to be able to catch them. Of course, they could still lose out and not make it, but it's a really big and important game here for them. Then we got Will Hates Vegetables, 3-5, 3 games in a row. beat me, all of a sudden is the greatest team in the league. Again, like I've always said, anyone that beats me is the best. So Luke, congratulations. You have done pretty well. Will Hates Vegetables versus ELE. Sorry. That was a mess up there. He's playing 7-1 ELE. So like I said, the bottom half of the barrel versus the top of the half. This is a very important game here because this game right here is going to impact that. If Dan wins, he clinches. But at the same time, it stopped the onslaught of wins by Will Hates Vegetables. B Money at 2-6 versus Undetermined. Another big game this week. B Money loses. I think this really just cuts it that he's not playoff bound, maybe not last place, but he's looking terrible as usual. So that's an easy one there. Undetermined, another great year for him, 4-4. He's looking like he's got a good, strong running back core. His wide receivers could be better. Michael Thomas hasn't even played. I think Russell Wilson is really the huge factor there for his team in where he's at. Of course, if Michael Thomas was playing all year, he'd be 7-1, probably 8-0. But I think Undetermined is going to win that one. So we got Future Dilf versus Papa J's. Like I said, worst versus the best. Dad versus the son. Future Dilf, 7-1. We're not going to go any further than that. He hasn't paid, so we're going to stop there. Papa J's Kool-Aid, 2-6. 11th place. Big win. He needs a win this week. If he doesn't get a win this week, like I said, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye. Then we got a third place Midget, 6-2 versus Angel, 2-6. Angels with Muerte and Midget shoulders. We don't need to go into any more specifics than that. Like I said, huge game. Will gets this win. He's basically clinching a spot. He won't clinch, I don't think, after this week, but he will basically be on the one game till the magic number. So in Angels de Muerte, whatever you want to call him, he is a bum, 2-6, 12th place. He hasn't scored over 100 points in probably 4 or 5 weeks, so it's just pretty much an embarrassment again for being such a avid sports fan and takes pride in knowing everything about football. For some reason, Greg literally can never muster anything out of fantasy, and it's pretty hysterical. So he has a $1,000 bet against me. Of course, if he loses this week and I win this week, that's a 3-game lead with only 4 or 5 games left. That basically is going to, Greg could already pay us that bet if he'd like. And then we got number 9, Ned Starks, 3-5 versus Deshaun, 4-4. Like I said, a lot of the worst teams, middle pack, playing each other. So this is very important that Deshaun gets this win because this will really put him at 2 games ahead. And like I said, if the teams with the 3 wins lose this week to the teams in the 4-4 teams, 2 or 3 of them end up with a win, you're looking at 2 to 3 game leads. I mean, it's going to be really tough, and I think this will really almost cushion the guys at the top of the level to be like, this is coasting. I only need to win 1 or 2, and I'm going to make the playoffs. So I think this year is a little different. I think a lot of it has to do with the injuries and just COVID. So, but it's been very hard, and I thank everyone for continuously managing their teams. Here we go. This is why we're here. The power rankings. We have the regular, power rankings that Yahoo gives, but my power rankings is usually legit. So as always, I'm going to go into this a little bit more in depth here. And another thing, just remember that if you have not paid, you do not get the content that you deserve. So till people pay, they're not going to get what they want to hear. Obviously, certain people are in certain positions and would love to hear about their team, but not today. Sorry. So here we go. Number 12, Angel del Muerte, 2-6, the Angel of Death, the Angel of Death of his team. When he changed his name, that really put him in a tough spot because now he's number 12. Like I said, 4 or 5 weeks straight under 100. He's averaging less than 100 points per game, I believe, and that's just embarrassing. Or he's really close to the 100 points. Greg's team looking real bad. I traded him Bernard. Should have kept him, to be honest, but I like the McKinnon and Mostert spot that I have going on there just in case I make the playoffs. But Greg's team looking real bad. Godwin's maybe coming back this week. Broken finger, probably not. He drafted Cam Newton, and Cam Newton is looking terrible. So that's about it for Angel del Muerte. Also, Greg, tattoo, whenever you want to get that done. I know last year Barry was really, I'm not going to go into that too further. He did pay a lot of money to be back in the league. But not getting the tattoo when you said you would is pretty self-explanatory. I don't really have to go into that any further. But Greg, I'd love for you to do your tattoo this year if you lose. Number 11, 2-6. Another team that needs to talk about last place possibilities. Papa J's Kool-Aid, 2-6. No running backs. Legit, no running backs. Don't understand why he traded whoever he traded with BJ, with Greg. I know Nick Chubb's been hurt, but he did have a solid running backs at one point. Mostert, he dropped him from the IR for no apparent reason, but I picked him up. Thank you again, BJ. So that's about it with number 11. Number 10, B-Money, your favorite loser, 2-6. Last year, last place. This year, again, looking pretty grim. Barry has said that if he is in last this year, again, back-to-back years, he will quit the league. He won't quit fantasy, but he will quit this league right here. I don't like that, but, we'll see what happens. He won't leave. But again, B-Money, you're on the cusp of another, bad year. I've looked at the records, and you have some of the worst points per game that are even scheduled. So keep it up. Keep it up. Every year, we love your money. Number 9, you guys are going to be shocked here. Valar Magulis at 4-4. I think my team looked better on paper 4 weeks ago, but on the field, in the way things have turned, my running back situation has finally came to a halt. JT hurt. Clyde Edwards-Helaire not looking as sharp lately. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't think my team's that good. I mean, I'm going to win a $1,000 bet against Greg. I might make the playoffs. Dak going down really changed things for me, but it's all right. Still doing what I have to do. Even with the struggles, I'm still doing fine. At number 8, we got Ned Stark's kids 3-5. Cam's team, surprisingly, he had one of the best pickups, Robinson from Jacksonville. He ended up trading him to ELE the other day. Cam's team, just tough. Stafford's out this week with COVID. I don't know how long that's going to last. He has no quarterbacks going into this week except Stafford, so he's going to have to pick one up. But if you look at his team, he has like 4 or 5 people on IR. 1 or 2 people have buys. So Cam is literally every week struggling to man a team. He's 3-5. He's number 8 just because his team is just, when you rely on a bunch of Philadelphia Eagle players, you're not going to do that well. But he's doing okay. I mean, for what he has, if this was a manager that had no idea what they were doing, they'd be literally 0-16 by the end of it. At number 7, everyone thought this was the worst team in the league, but when I lost to him, they said, oh, this is the worst team just because of his record. But then I was like, hold on, guys. I think he has a good team if he beat me. Yes, Will Hates Vegetables, 3-5, 3-game winning streak. Luke is looking good. His running backs have been very weak. He's made some trades. His team doesn't wow me on the field, but for some reason, the last couple of weeks, he's been strong. Nothing we can do about that. But yeah, his team's looking pretty good at number 7. Number 6, RG 3-way, 4-4. I think having Mahomes is just like the best thing ever. That's a fun week every week to watch. That's why I think I drafted Hill and C. Edwards-Helaire. But that hasn't worked out as well as just drafting Mahomes directly. But 4-4, Aaron Jones looking great. He's been hurt lately, but that's a huge pick for him. We'll see how the rest of I play him this week, so hopefully he loses. But I did rank myself 9th. So if you lose to a 9th ranked team, Kyle, you suck. At number 5. 4-4. This is undetermined. His team, like I said, pretty good. He's only paid $100 towards the league, so at this point, everything else will be muted from here on out. I'm not going to talk about your league, of your team. It doesn't matter. You did not pay. It's embarrassing. I will be muting this, or I will. Right now, at number 4, I still don't think Golladay is as good. Matthew Stafford's out, so that's wide receiver gone. Gaskin's hurt. I think Breda's going to keep that position going forward the rest of the year. Gaskin, of course, they probably love, but we'll see what happens the rest of the year. If the Miami Dolphins lose 2 games in a row, they probably won't play as Gaskin as much because they're probably like, out of the playoffs, why would we waste that? So, and I think they're going to let Tua let him fly. So I don't think his team is as good as it was a couple weeks ago, just like my team. At number 3, we got Deshaun of the Dead. Sneaky good. He drafted Fournette in the 3rd round. Crazy. But now Fournette's finally looking strong at the right time. He's got Kelsey. He's got Cook. He's got Calvin Ridley, which is a monster. Deshaun Watson, which has been lame all year. If that guy can light it up at the right time, Slima's team's looking like a playoff team. No question about it. At number 2, ELE. Sorry, Dan, couldn't give you the number 1 spot. There's a reason why. The guy that hasn't paid gets number 1. Cool. Number 2, ELE. Great year. I picked you to be one of the best teams in the league. You can ask Will. You can fact check that. I did bring your name up a long time ago. And I think your team looks just the right way all year. It's been just perfect. Tyler Lockett is just a great wide receiver. Your running back, Zeke, even though he hasn't been as good, still got a high ceiling depending on the week that he plays. So from there, we are sorry. At this time, we cannot show content for Pat Jordan. He's being a cheap fuck, like usual. At this time, I'd like to let Pat know he should pay his dues so he can see his content. For now, fuck you, Pat. And that's about it, folks. Like I said, Pat, you don't get content till you pay. Someone that should be able to pay $200 should pay $200. You know, it's kind of embarrassing that every year, like one year your dad paid for you. That was cute. Why don't you just pay? I know you're in first place, whatever, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to be. The whole point of this is to be in the League of Gentlemen, is to be a gentleman. Pay your fee, keep moving. Once it ends, you get your money back. It's an investment. You put $200 in. If you win it all, $1,600, great. But this is not how things are done in the real world. When you bought your house, Pat, did you tell him you pay him 2 months later, the down payment? No. Oh, wait. I bet you your wife paid that off. Come on, Pat. Pay the fucking $200. I didn't want to get all angry about this, but come on, dude. It's unbelievable. $200. It's unbelievable. You take beers from Kyle's winnings at the golf tournament. Cool. Like, what else do you do that you just, like, try to take from people? Just pay your $200, or I'm going to have to put restrictions on your team. There's a lot of things I can do. I can lock your team. Everyone probably be like, down. I could find a new manager because you haven't even paid, so technically you shouldn't even be in the league. So just do what you need to do, Pat. Pay your $200 and we will be done with this. As always, God bless everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Toodaloo.